library and the project that we have going on, Lydia. So that might be something you want to talk to the group about next month.
Next month, could I do a little blurb this month?
You could
just
do a
because we
blurb
have
and then you
deadline?
could do a presentation because there is a lot that you guys are going to do and it's a pretty cool project.
Yeah, so tell me about how much time I have for the presentation.
We'll grab you towards the end after Ron's presentation and then you could definitely discuss it.
Okay.
So as I said, my name is Spirit Circus. I'm the Executive Director of the Youth Bureau and Recreation for the City of Glen Cove and President of IAC. Jamae?
I am Jamae Crowder. Hello, everyone. I am the treasurer of the IAC and the vice president of the Glen Cove Chamber of Commerce. Welcome, everyone.
Carolyn Wilson, former president of IAC and currently vice president.
Dr. Israel?
Mike Israel, Assistant Superintendent, Glen Cove School District, and wondering if we could do a presentation on May 11th about our budget.
We already have you in. That's a standard.
Great.
Do you want us to come there or are we going to do it Zoom? What do you prefer?
You know what? I don't know yet. Let's leave it Zoom right now and then we'll see.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Christine?
Hi, Christine Rice, Executive Director of the Glen Cove Senior Center and Chair of North Shore Soup Kitchen Nush.
Lydia?
Hi, I am the archivist and librarian representing the Glen Cove Public Library.
Thank you.
Oh, excuse me, Lydia, who is the new director in yet?
Yes, the new director is Joanna Cabo.
Okay,
She was the assistant director.
right. But
Yes.
are you going to be the one coming to the IAC meetings?
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, I will be.
So you should get the notices.
Okay. Bonnie?
Oh.
Hi, guys.
Oh.
Bonnie Nogan with Glengarriff Healthcare Center.
Thank you. Anne?
Good morning, Ann Fangman, Executive Director of the Glen Cove Community Development Agency.
Cindy?
Cindy Rogers, District Director for Congressman Tom Swazi.
Morning. Ron?
Ron Roel, representing AARP.
Marianne?
Hi, Marianne Small, representing the Glen Cove Conference of St. Vincent de Paul.
Brenda?
Good morning, Brenda Lopez, representing Iglesia Ciudad de Refugio, also on the IAC board and working with SAFE, Dr. Sharon Harris.
Dorothy?
I am Dorothy Zambito. I am treasurer of North Shore Soup Kitchen / Nosh.
Welcome. Mitch?
I am Mitch Chodas, the Community Relations Liaison at the Regency Glen Cove, and I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. Irma? Oh, you're muted, Irma.
Hi, good morning. Irma Genty, Director of the Glen Cove EOC.
Morning. Nancy?
Nancy Roenfeld. I represent the Hersey Foundation.
Morning. Phyllis?
Phyllis Burnett, Kiwanis of Glen Cove and the Civil Service Commissioner.
And board member of IAC.
And board member of the IAC.
We three well. Colleen?
Good morning, Colleen Spinello, Church of St. Rocco, and board member of the IAC. And I can't get my computer working, so you're on my phone.
No problem. Sharon?
Hi, Sharon Harris, Executive Director of SAFE, past president of IAC.
Morning. 677-641 or no, 776-4193. Sorry.
Hi, I'm Francesca Carbone. I'm the social worker for Safe Inc. and I am calling on my phone, so that is why.
Got it. Morning. I think that is it. I don't see anyone else on my screen. I guess, Ron, the screen is yours.
Okay, thanks, Spiro. Yes, so I was hoping that Bernard Macias, the director of AARP Long Island, could have come today. Unfortunately, I found out late yesterday afternoon after navigating with him for a couple weeks to get through his busy schedule that he got sick. So he couldn't do it. And so I said, well, let me pitch in and take over. I've been involved with AARP for about 10 years in various capacities, but always as a volunteer, essentially. So I'm not going to pitch you for membership or any of that stuff. I'm just going to try to explain a little bit about what the organization does. I think a lot of people, their first contact is when they turn 50, and miraculously they get a solicitation in the mail to join the organization. And they seem sort of creepy, like, how did you know I turned 50? But I think what they do is they just rent, demographic lists and find out. And so no one is tracking you. And then I think also that their contact is, seeing these ads on TV, for AARP, United Healthcare, insurance, Medicare, Part B supplements, which they do. But I just wanted to give you a sense of what the organization does overall. They're involved in, in three major areas of advocacy, community outreach, and membership and engagement and stuff. So I just want to talk to you about how I'm involved mostly as a volunteer. And so first, I want to just give you a very quick snapshot of the organization's history. So it was founded in 1958 by a woman named Dr. Ethel Percy Andrus, who was a very well-known educator. She was the first woman principal, high school principal in California's history in the early 1920s. And then she had a very successful career, and then all of a sudden shocked everyone by retiring to do what, still is an issue today, to take care of her ailing mother. So she did that, and as she was, going through a retirement, discovered that a lot of retired teachers like her were in poverty and that couldn't afford a lot of things. So she got very involved and founded the retirement organization for teachers, and then that became in 1947, and that turned into AARP, which, as you probably know, initially was called the American Association of Retired Persons. But since the organization realized if you were going to join this organization at 50, that you had no idea of retirement. So in 1999, they changed the name to AARP. So that's the quick history. So it's now it's a nonprofit, nonpartisan membership organization. It does get involved in a lot of political issues, but it is nonpartisan, has a lot of members. There's 38 million members nationwide, got about 500,000 members on Long Island. Now I'm a member of there are 8 chapters on Long Island. I'm a member of the North Hempstead chapter. I think I found out coming to IAC meetings that there used to be a Glen Cove chapter. I think Carolyn told me about that, and I wondered, none of us could figure out what the heck happened to it. And I think what happened was we discovered that if you look at our old blue book, that the person who headed it, Bob Tovar, unfortunately passed away. So that's what happened to it. So there at this point, I've had discussions with Bernard about having Glen Cove chapter, but right now, we're just members can really affiliate with either North Hempstead or Oyster Bay. And I said, well, it's just important that I can let people know. I thought it was important for AARP to be on IAC. So I kind of insisted at Bernard that I keep doing that. So let me just give you a quick snapshot of a lot of things. So in advocacy, the organization does advocate for policies that they feel, help and support seniors. So some of the issues that they deal with are sort of current on what they're fighting for funding, for increased funding for home-based services, for a lot of seniors who need services at home. They've managed to increase the funding over the last couple of years, and that's what they're trying to do, is to increase that more, because a lot of people do want to age in place, and there's a long waiting list for services. So that's one of the things they're involved with. They're also very active. Probably their top priority now is to help reduce the costs of prescription drugs, which is a big issue nationwide. So they want to, increase the affordability of drugs by, especially in New York State, by allowing for safe importation of drugs from Canada. They want to ban a program, ban a practice called pay to delay, which is that a lot of drug companies can actually delay the release of distribution of generic drugs by paying generic drug makers to delay that release, even when they can do it. So, and then they want to increase the access to Medicare savings plans. So that's their big priority. They're also involved in trying to promote livable communities. I know that you folks have had a presentation from the Glen Cove AARP sponsored age-friendly community initiative, which Christine is very active in, and I've been involved in that as well. One of the big things that they're promoting too is accessory dwelling units, which is, I know, somewhat controversial. It's on the front page of Newsday today. A lot of people are, it's a controversial issue on Long Island about this, but they're really interested in promoting this as a means of, providing more affordable housing options for seniors. So that's, that's a snapshot. I guess the last thing too is that they promoted this program called Secure Choice, which is providing a means for a lot of small companies to offer retirement saving programs for their employees, that when they can't afford to set up the traditional retirement saving programs that are available for larger companies. So that's the advocacy efforts involved. We do talk regularly with legislators at the Nassau County level, with people in Albany, with people nationally. Right now, I'm actually the volunteer liaison to Tom Suozzi's office, so I talk with Cindy quite often about the congressman's efforts, and so we do meet. We're meeting virtually. Again, just presenting AARP's priorities and to legislators and hearing what they have to say about it. So that's the advocacy piece. There is a large engagement piece, which is we partner with a lot of organizations locally on Long Island. We do a lot of work with veterans in terms of providing service for veterans, whether it's providing meals for them. I spent a day before the pandemic going out to the veterans facility in Northport, and basically they have lovely facilities, but it's hard to maintain them. So I actually spent an afternoon just weeding the Vietnam garden, which is a really nice facility for veterans, but so I just wanted to make it nicer. We do a lot of work with Island Harvest, Long Island Cares, United Veterans Beacon House. We do things too in terms of dealing with issues like social isolation and loneliness. They have a program called Tech Buddies, which is a program which we train volunteers to work one-on-one with seniors who want to basically get better at using technology. So we train them how to use Zoom one-on-one through telephone calls. And then we also partner with places like the senior network to get help partner to provide free classes in technology training. Let's see, are there any other things that I want to mention specifically? Yeah, and then the last piece, is that it does provide a lot of activities for its members, but a lot of them are open to the public. They do have, lots of discounts that are provided locally with a lot of arts venues. They do they have it's a national program called movies for grown-ups, which is just films that feature older actors, but also are for more mature audiences in terms of their interests. So that's a program that they offer widely, and there and there are, because of the size of the organization, they're able to partner with a lot of places and provide a whole range of discounts for all sorts of activities. And I think they do things like, I think Phyllis may be involved in their safe driver program. So that's another service they provide for people. They provide a lot of help in terms of tax preparation for seniors. So there's a whole range of activities that they're involved with. And that's essentially why I'm involved. I want to be involved in really helping people navigate their second half of life successfully. I have a radio program called 45 Forward, and that's what it's about. It's about providing resources for people to, what I say is, make their second half of life as successful as their first. So that's really a snapshot, Spiro. I didn't want to go on and on, but I figured I wanted to just give people an idea of what this organization actually does. Because usually you just get very brief glimpses of what it does, and it's mostly about insurance, which they still do. But again, that's a whole unit that they have of business partnerships and support services that the volunteers like me are not really involved with, but it provides income. And then I guess the last thing is that they do have an AARP foundation, which does a lot of work on studies to basically help seniors in terms of what their needs are as they age.
Ron, do they offer any kind of grants or anything that could assist let's say Phyllis with her vehicle issue and just trying to raise some money to provide the rides for the elderly? Is that something that they could assist in, or no?
Well, I know that they have.
We're all just tired of hearing Phyllis, so
Well, they have, and now I think I forwarded this to you, Carolyn, right? You guys, that they have a community grant. They have a community grant making program and I think that Christine knows about this as well, because there are grants available for innovative community projects, and I think that so the Age Friendly Initiative, has applied for these sorts of grants, but I think, I'll get back to you, Spirit, with because I know that the foundation does have a program, and they do have opportunities to give out grants, and I think that a lot of them are done on a statewide basis, so it's handled by the state office. So I'll find out more about that, about how actually you go about doing it. I know that right now that they're looking for these community innovation grants, so that some people are working on that. I know Vincenza Caruso is exploring applying for a grant, and they're usually sort of small, innovative community projects. So a lot of it could fit into things that we do in Glen Cove.
I was just going to say that Vincenza researches a lot of them. And right now, currently, she's looking at a couple different ones. So I'll get some more information from her as well, too. I can do that.
Thanks, Christine. That's great.
Spiro, to give you an example of some of the projects that were applied for in the past, but ultimately didn't end up being successful because it's a very competitive program for the AARP community grants. You might remember we looked at doing that sensory garden at Big Ralph Park, near the Youth Bureau Community Garden. That was one of the projects that was applied for in the past. And like Christine said, Vincenza's looking into some projects right now. Typically they're community-based projects, and there are opportunities to, again, bring like the youth and the seniors together, the multi-generational aspect.
Thanks, Sam.
Can you talk a little bit about the grant? When is the deadline and how much is it for?
Christine, do you have that information? I don't, I don't have that at my
I'm sorry, I don't
fingertips.
have it right with me, but I can get that off from Vincenza for you.
Okay, thank you. And then I have a question for you. You said that there used to be a AARP office here, or a regional office in Glen Cove?
No, there was a chapter, but there's never been an office. Yeah, and in fact, all these chapters, there is no office, there's no physical office. So,
Can
we,
you talk a little bit about what the chapters do?
yeah, so the chapters are involved in the areas, in the areas that I mentioned. So there's an advocacy component and essentially an engagement component. So the advocacy, there is a committee of us who basically meet regularly with legislators, lawmakers at local, state, and federal levels to talk about, policies and legislation that could benefit seniors. One of the areas I forgot to mention was they're very involved in trying to get caregiver tax credits for family caregivers. So they're volunteers or volunteer advocates, again, nonpartisan, but we try to get our issues before the lawmakers. And then there's an engagement component. So we try to work with a lot of local groups to, my chapter in North Hempstead is very active with veterans. They're active in programs like book fairies. So they get involved in setting up shredding programs. So there are all sorts of ways that they try to partner with other organizations to provide activities and events that help seniors. They get involved in, before the pandemic, a lot of distribution of food to veterans and others in need. And then, discuss events that, that their members can get involved in and just start. Again, a lot of them are for members, but a lot of them are not. A lot of them are available to the public. So, a lot of, they'd have these, sip and serve, virtual art exhibits that you can attend, local events at local theaters. So there is that service components to its members, of what the activities that are available to them. But as I mentioned earlier, a lot of them are available to everyone, to the public. If you just go on aarp.org/Long Island, you can see.
And did you say that the nearest one to us is Locust Valley?
No, it's North Hempstead, but it covers the town.
Okay.
But you don't have to be. I mean, I'm in Glen Cove, so officially I'm not. I'm not in North Hempstead, but you can join. Any chapter you want, really. It's So if you're a member, I mean, it's like $16 a year. So that's what it costs to join.
So Ron, when you join, do they automatically assign you somewhere? Like if I sent in my money, or is this something over and above sending your money into?
No. You can join Cindy without being a volunteer, right? So the 8 local chapters are for people who want to be involved in the activities.
Okay, be active members as opposed to just paying members.
So if you join, then you get access to a lot of the programs and discounts and all that stuff. It's like being in AAA. There are lots of benefits for members, and because of the size of the organization, they could give you lots of discounts and trips and all sorts of stuff. So that's what you get when you join. If you want to be a more active member, you want to be involved in community programs, then you just you could contact. So Bernard's email is bmacias, MACIAS @aarp.org, and you just say you'd like to join a local chapter. Say where you are, and then he'll put you in contact with the facilitator for that chapter. And there are 2 facilitators for North Hempstead. They're 2 terrific women who do a lot of terrific work in lots of areas, and have actually made presentations in Glen Cove on things like Walk with the Doc. And I will just say also this, to another shout out to Christine and the Glen Cove Age Friendly Community Initiative. So this is something that AARP has set up a model for, but it's basically it's basically carried out by the initiative of local people. Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if that was. Yeah. So this is something that is not part of the AARP chapter. This is an independent initiative. It basically ARP sets up the template, but people like Vincenza, Christine, and me and others are basically, in charge of pushing it forward. And it's moving forward. It's just, obviously the pandemic has put a dent in our meetings, but it's still moving forward. And Vincenza is putting together an action plan for for our agenda. And it's sort of in recognition that, when you're involved, trying to support seniors, you're really involved in supporting all the generations. So the basic, premise behind it is that, that you try to create policies and programs that benefit all ages. That's the concept behind it.
I think also what I'd, thanks, Ron, and thank you for all your work on it. We did just hire a project coordinator. We are moving forward with the time banking and with everything else. It's really coming together. It's going to take a lot of community support and acknowledgement that it's out there. And I think it would be great, again, if we could possibly have Vincenza back on at some point, just to give an update on where we're at and what the next steps are, if that's possible. So I can talk to you, Spiro, about that.
Perfect. Anyone else have any other questions? Going once, twice. Ron, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I told you you'd be fine. You're a professional. You got
I'm
the
not as
mic, the headphone, everything.
Yeah, I'm not as entertaining as you are, Spiro, but I try.
Great, thank you.
Don't worry, you got me beat. I guess we'll go into Lydia. I know you had an announcement. If you want to talk about the project really quick, and then we'll put you to present next month.
Okay, awesome. All right, so this is time sensitive. Otherwise, I would introduce it next week, but I don't know if you can see me. Let's see.
We can see you.
I just want to show you a banner. This is a vinyl banner that's 24 by 48 inches. Can you see?
Yes.
So on the top, it'll say City of Glen Cove Honors. And this is a Veterans Military Tribute Banner project. So you'll have the veterans photograph, their name, the branch that they served, the years that they served, and it's going to be sponsored by the Glen Cove Public Library. This is what the back looks like. So this project launched yesterday with the Glen Cove Veteran Services Department. And if I could have sharing ability on my screen, Spiro?
Jamaica.
Is it possible?
Yes, she's taking care of it now.
You should be good.
Okay,
Lydia, can I just interject 1 second? The project is going to happen at Morgan's Park. We're looking to, and I'm sure she's going to show you this, but this is what it's going to look like. If you see, all our light poles down at Morgan's Park will be the honorary banner. Lydia will present the rest, but this is the project that's going to happen at Morgan's Park. You can continue.
All right. I'm not sure why it's not allowed. Okay, here we go. All right. Okay, so if you go on to our website, which is glencovelibrary.org, right on the front page, right underneath our picture of the library is this icon. It's it says Glen Cove Salutes, and it's a military tribute banner program. It'll take you to the screen to order. I'm just gonna go for that. Okay. So this is for Glen Cove residents only. There are other towns, the town of Oyster Bay is running a program that's very similar, and they're putting in 6 different parks. So this is just for Glen Cove veterans. It is limited to 40 banners, and the display period will be from Memorial Day to Veterans Day, and it will be at Morgan Park. Before March 1st, if it's paid for and completely proof and ready to go to print, $99. And after, it's 109, and the deadline is April 1st. So these are the information that's required. You need to know the honoree's name, service dates, service branch, war, rank, awards. And then the information of the person or family who's sponsoring it. I'm not sure if there are any questions. Next month, I'll go into more detail of what more we're going to be doing to support, what we're going to be doing to support the project, additional things that we're doing. But I just wanted you all to be aware of this project because there are only 40 banners. Hopefully, maybe Sparrow could find another place for next year and we could expand the program. But for this year, we're going to be limited to Morgan Memorial Park.
Lydia, did Danielle call you when we went driving around to look at the light post? I think she said it was about 20 something. Are we doing the doubles or the singles? Did we find that?
We're doing the
yourself?
double.
Okay.
Yeah,
There's
we're
no
going to be
screws.
No
Okay.
screws. I have
Okay, good.
all the information, so I am talking to her and trying to get a sample. Once that sample is sent, DPW can go and test it out.
Perfect. Okay, good.
Is this limited to living veterans or is it deceased also?
Deceased as well.
Both. I had gone to the North Shore Historical Museum over the weekend, and they have a small exhibit, which I believe they're going to make much bigger, either in March for the Harlem Hellfighters.
Right.
So I talked to the printers, and they're actually able to put a group photo, so that if let's say anyone's interested, they could sponsor a banner for the Harlem Hellfighters, or possibly for the Tuskegee Airmen as well. So, and then there are some opportunities. Each banner is $99 or $109 after March 1st for people to help raise funds for veterans who are important to Glen Cove, but may not have any living relatives.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's something to think about if your organization would be interested in sponsoring.
Okay.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
One of the things that I know the Kiwanis has been looking at and sponsored, there's an Eagle Scout that's working on Memorial Park, which is the park that's in front of the Presbyterian Church.
Right.
Because of pandemic, it's been put off like numerous times. He has reached out to the community and asked them to pay for bricks with, memorial bricks with the individual servicemen's names on it. And I don't remember, but I think that he's also looking at putting up basically the same thing type of flags. You did mention that these had to be servicemen who lived in Glen Cove. I live in Glen Cove. My father did not. So my question is for people whose parents did not live in Glen Cove, but the child does. Is that still open to, in other words, I want to put this, I want to get a banner for my father. Can I do that?
That's a great question. We have only 40 banners to sell. And I would say that the preference would be given to Glen Cove veterans.
Okay, all right. And then the other thing is that, did you know that there was another project going on?
Yes.
Doing the same thing.
Are you talking about a banner project or are you talking about Ryan Weber, the Eagle Scout?
The Eagle Scout.
Yeah, so that is not the same project. What he's doing is something called, I believe he called it the Patriots Trail.
Yes.
And he's making a website with QR codes, because he came to the history room to do the research, and he's actually, my son is part of the same troop in Port Washington. No, his project is very different.
Okay, All right, just
It's
wanted to
for
know.
monuments. Our project is for military tribute banner. So they're large and they're going to be on lampposts in Morgan Park.
Okay, all right. So how are you contacting the members, the family members of the Tuskegee people? We had two, I think. One.
Well, we have the oral history of William Johnson. I'm not positive if he has family members in Glen Cove.
But he has me.
Like, for instance, the mayor is going to be purchasing one for her dad or uncle, but she's also purchasing one for Dan Daly.
Right. So, but
interested? If
yes,
you're
no,
interested.
I will definitely get the Tuskegee thing done. Okay.
Okay. And you're Phyllis.
I'm Phyllis.
Phyllis, I can assist in any way for William Johnson as well. He was a board
I was
member.
going to say
with
Mr.
us.
Johnson too, because Mr. Johnson, that Pam and I have been working on the Mr. Johnson one for a long time too. So, but I don't, Pam has the connection, meaning the mayor, has more of a connection to not so much Mr. Johnson, but Singleton. That's, is it Singleton? Yes. So anyway, but
yeah.
So don't worry about Mr. Johnson. I got Mr. Johnson.
Okay. That's awesome. Thank you so much. I put my contact information in the chat, so please reach out to me and let me know. Together we can get a photograph, the best photograph. We have a few here, so you can select which one you want.
Okay.
Awesome.
The museum did a whole presentation of a month long on the Harlem Hillfighters. And Richard Harris, who is a professor at Webb, has all that information. You know him?
Okay. I know of him because he's done a lot of oral histories that we have in history.
He has a lot of photos too.
Right. Yeah, I need someone to sponsor them for their banner.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll reach out to him and see
if
the museum has anybody who'd be interested in that.
Oh, yeah. Amy Driscoll is the name of the, you know her, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Ask her.
Okay. Definitely.
All right. Any other questions? All right. Anne, do you want to just discuss?
Sure. Good morning, everyone. I don't know if you were on the city council meeting last night, but I did the announcement for the 48th year of the CDBG funding that's upcoming. I would like to share my screen at this time, if possible, to bring up the public hearing notice. Can everyone see that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, there.
There you go.
Okay, great. So we opened up the public hearing last night, and this is for residents to provide an opportunity to propose activities for inclusion in the 22 to 23 CDBG program. As most of you know, because many of you are the public service agencies that take advantage of this program every year, these funds are made available through the Nassau County Urban Consortium, of which the city of Glen Cove is a member. Anyone interested in giving me feedback and comments, my email address is noted here on the public notice. I can also, receive phone calls, and, if you'd like to come see me at City Hall, you're welcome to as well. Everything is posted on the CDA website at www.glencovecda.org. Now, for our public service agencies that typically apply for the public service agency funding, there is a mandatory online workshop tomorrow via Microsoft Teams. Okay, that information is available on the CDA website calendar, and it's going to be tomorrow, Thursday, February 10th at 3 p.m. I strongly encourage you, even if you're on the fence about applying or you don't know if you're eligible or not, just attend the workshop, because Camille Byrne, my executive assistant, and I go into the details of the program at that time and can answer individual questions. Moving on to when the applications are due for the PSAs, One electronic copy and one hard copy with all the required attachments must be received by 3 p.m. Thursday, February 24th to Camille Byrne. It can be sent to her email address or it can be delivered to her at City Hall, although we do need an electronic copy because everything now is being done online. Some of you might remember Nassau County switched to the Zoom grant system a few years back. Now they're starting a new system called Neighborly. So Camille and I are navigating a new electronic system. And we also have a deadline that's much earlier this year, which is why typically the PSAs have a little bit more time, but this year it's February 24th. My apologies in advance. But there's the general program information. And Spiro, I'm going to please ask that you send that notice out just to the IAC membership following this meeting. And I'm available for any questions. You know, typically you have to have at least a $4,000 program. These are small grants that are typically used to leverage larger programs going on in your agencies. The 7 public service agencies that have been receiving funding in recent years are the Youth Bureau, the Senior Center, the Glen Cove Daycare, SAFE, the EOC, the Boys and Girls Club, and La Frueza. Now, religious organizations or activities that take place in religious institutions are ineligible. We've had that issue in the past with Nassau County. Remember, this is HUD funding, so it has all the federal requirements that we're, you know, obliged to follow. That comes through the Nassau County Consortium and is administered by the Glen Cove CDA. Now, keep in mind, public service agency activities that go through the Glen Cove CDA have to be specific to the city of Glen Cove. If you have a public service agency that serves a regional purpose or serves municipalities beyond Glen Cove, then you're encouraged to apply directly to Nassau County, who's had their own public hearing and information open for their application process for the CDBG. So does anyone have any questions for me at this time? I know I'm going to see many of you tomorrow at the online workshop.
I have a question. Is it only limited to 7 in Glen Cove? So if you
It's not limited to 7, but typically that's around the number that we've been able to fund. Again, people put in their applications. Some years, you know, certain organizations look for more funding, less funding. We have to balance all of those applications with what we expect to get from Nassau County. And then our CDA board makes a recommendation and then city council votes on it as well. So we are limited to a small pool of funding that we typically receive every year. And that's how we evaluate each of the applications. We do also evaluate it based on past performance. Have you been able to you know, administer your program well, follow all the requirements? Are you using the funds in an expeditious manner? You know, you're not dragging older funds and, you know, setting them to expire. So there's a bunch of different factors that are taken into consideration. But typically it's nonprofit organizations in the area. You have to prove a low to moderate income benefit. So at least 51% of your constituents need to be low to moderate income. You need to provide that in documentation to the agency, and there's other reporting that we collect throughout the year.
How many people typically apply?
Typically, we get about 7 applications every year. Every once in a while, we may get an application that's deemed ineligible or something that, for whatever reason, the county does not feel should be applied through the Glen Cove CDA, but rather the Nassau County Consortium.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Ann.
Does
Any other
anyone else
questions?
have anything else? Okay, thank you, Spiro.
No problem. Anybody have any announcements?
I just wanted to, I got some information on those grants that you, people were asking about. The
Yes.
The AARP grant, hold on one second, sorry, I just lost it. AARP grant, there is no cap on it, and the deadline for that is March 22nd.
Okay.
And then the New York State Health Foundation grant, the letter is due, it needs to be submitted by March 2nd, and she didn't have any information on if there was a cap or anything.
The AARP grant, do you have a dollar amount?
No, she said there's no cap on that. There's no.
Oh, no cap. Okay, thank you. Sorry.
Anyone else?
You want me to do the treasurer report?
That's what I was just gonna say now. Phyllis has her hand raised, but I'm not sure if she really does or
Before.
I do.
I ignore her. What's up?
My usual rant, just reminding everybody that February 20th, Kiwanis Club is having their fundraiser at Laura's Barbecue. I sent flyers out to everyone. I will send them out again. You have to order by February 16th. Reason being is that he has to order the food and get ready to prepare the food. So February 20th is when that you can pick your food up. I'm asking you to please, I will send out, like I said, I will send the flyer out again. I will also send you the link because I found out that the link on the flyer does not work when I send it as an email. But please, we are looking for funds to raise money for the people, obviously the people in our community. We did give for the VFW Post 347, we did give them a check just a couple of weeks ago. That's where some of the money went for the fundraiser. February 20th is also Daytona 500. So if anybody's into watching that, you can get your food. You pick up your food from 3 to 6 on the 20th. The 23rd, I'm sorry?
Are you delivering?
Depends. I have a couple of seniors that I do pick up donations have been made to the club for anyone. I call the seniors, they have picked their food out, I will take it to them, but depends. I'm not going to, I'm not going to Piscataway, New Jersey. That's not happening. But anyway, so if there's somebody in Glen Cove, you want somebody that cannot get there, we will, I will take the food to them. If it's snowing, I will not take the food anyway, because I'm not even going to get food. On February 23rd, Kiwanis Club has been volunteering to feed the men at the shelter, which is dinners for men's at the shelter. So we would do that. If anybody would like volunteer to do that, that would be great. And then my usual, Ron mentioned it, February 26th, I am teaching defensive driving again at Reverend Travis's church, the Lutheran church, across the street from King Cullen. So it'll be February 26th, starting at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's officially a 6-hour class. If you've taken my class, you'll understand why I stress 6 hours. And then that's it for the month of February. But I really hope that you will be part of our group for the Laura's Barbecue, because she really has really good ribs. That's all I have to say. The ribs are awesome. That's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Phyllis, is there a charge for the defensive driving class?
Yes, there is. It's a $40 a person charge.
$40. Is there a limit?
No. Well, I don't know. Well, no, not really, because the room that I have is pretty big. Travis,
Okay.
how many people can fit in that room, Travis?
Probably 15 people comfortably, especially, yeah, about 15. I mean, if you need to and you get more people than 15 that morning, we can move you to the bigger room downstairs.
Okay.
So
How do people sign up?
You show up.
Okay, so there's no pre-registration.
No, there is not.
And just be aware it's on Forest Avenue, so there is no parking lot. So it's usually park on Forest, right on the same street that the church is at. But usually on Saturday morning, there's no one really there. So you could park all along Forest Avenue. Or you can tell your people to park across the street at King Cullen.
Okay. Do you have information on the Kiwanis website or at the church website if I want to print it out? Are you taking cash, check, money order?
Yes, well, you can go to my Facebook page, which is Phyllis Burnett, and I'm on Facebook, and it is on the Kiwanis website. Just look for the Kiwanis website with the Kiwanis International logo. We have another website, but for some reason we can't take down. But if it has the Kiwanis International logo next to Kiwanis of Glen Cove, that's the website that it should be on.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a question. Does anybody know who I can speak to regarding Phyllis, the men's shelter? Oh, I don't know what it's called anymore. That you were talking about for the food, we want to do for our church. But we don't know who we need to speak to. I know there's a sign up online, but we have a couple of questions.
Okay, I've been speaking to this gentleman. His name is Gus. I have to look on my phone.
Gustavo?
Yes.
Okay, I got it. Okay. I wasn't sure if he was still in charge.
Yes, I just spoke to him the other day, but yes, he's the guy.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I wanted to let you know that on March 19th at 2:00, Tom is hosting a fundraiser for the VFW in Glen Cove. It's going to be at the Polish Hall. And he's hoping to raise a significant amount of money to help them rebuild. There is a flyer that I can send out to everyone. We're looking for people to attend and also for sponsors.
Great.
You putting that online, Cindy?
Yeah, I can get it to y'all.
Yeah, please. Thanks.
Jermaine, you could do your report.
Hi, everyone. So I have a couple of quick things besides the report. I'm gonna just kind of go over some of the updates that we're doing to our website as well, but let me do the treasure report really fast first. We are currently a membership base of 53 people, agencies, sorry. We have more people, 31 of which are paid, 22 are which are due. I'm still working out the Glen Cove payments because I felt like the Glen Cove Senior Center, I think, paid, but then I got a check that said it was from Glen Cove City. So the city ones are difficult. So if just clarify with me if the Senior Center was the one that paid or if it was the city, because I have it posted right now as city because it didn't label anything to do with the Senior Center. But those are the agencies that I have right now that haven't paid on the top here. And then all the other agencies have paid and the dates when they paid. So I sent out, like, again, the city, we're having a difficulty with getting the emails to you guys. So I'm gonna probably have to wind up sending it a different way just to start it off and then try to get you guys onto the new system that we're working on. But I will connect with them. If you're on here now and we could talk, that would be great. Other than that, we have had a really great membership income from our Stripe service, which allows people to, pay online.
Mommy, if you play Minecraft, then they
Okay, give me a couple minutes. Of course, she comes in right now. She's been great all this whole time. You guys all are talking. She's fine, but now I'm talking, so she's here. Give me a couple minutes. I'll be right there. Give me a couple minutes. She's warm. Okay, so anyway, we've been great with our Stripe memberships, and we also have our checks coming in.
Mommy.
Checks are going to our. Sorry, guys. Going to our. Hold on one second. You know what? Let me mute and let me talk to her for 2 seconds. Sorry, guys.
Christine, why don't you do your presentation with what you needed, and we'll go back to Jermaine.
Hold on, David. I'm sorry, Spiro.
Why don't you do your announcements, and then
Okay,
we'll go
sure.
back to Jermaine.
All right, I was just checking with David to see if that, I think that check that she said that came in from the city was from us for the senior center, so I'm just double checking. I just had a couple of announcements that for med transport, Phyllis, we are desperately looking for volunteer drivers. If you know anybody who'd be willing to do that, we're hopefully coming up close to starting that up again to be able to help Glen Cove residents get to their doctor's appointments. So if you know anybody who's willing to give any time to be a medical transport driver, please let us know. That would be great.
Can I just ask a question? This is Franca from Glen Cove Boys and Girls Club. Is there requirements, or did I miss that? Are there requirements for the drivers, like a CDL?
Phyllis, what are they? No, I don't think they have to have a CDL.
No, they do not have to have a CDL. Obviously, I prefer somebody who is retired, but who has time. The program basically runs in the mornings, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. I leave Wednesday open for reasons that I don't want to get into right now. But the program usually runs from 9 in the morning to noon, meaning we pick you up and we take you to the doctor, we pick you up from the doctor's office and take you home. So that's the way the program runs. I would like for it to run all day, but if I get enough drivers, I can. But right now, all we're going to do is do basically a background check on your driver's license, not on so much on criminal or anything else. We just want to make sure you have a good driver's license, like you don't have a DWI or
Right.
DUI, that kind of thing.
Okay,
Okay,
thanks.
welcome.
In addition, if anybody has any donations or anybody is asking where they can bring donations for Nosh, please let them know that they can drop them off here. Right now, we're looking for a new permanent home, but we're at the View where we have everything stored. We would just prefer if they bring it here, not to the Methodist Church, or get in touch with myself or Linda. That way I can get everything to them if they need it. Dorothy, I don't know if you want to talk about the soup kitchen reopening.
This is my first time on this call, and it's a while since I attended one of these meetings, so I wasn't exactly prepared. But the soup kitchen will be giving out hot meals once again, starting next Tuesday and next Thursday. The meals will be ready at noontime. And it is our hope that the first Tuesday in March, we will begin serving indoors again. We're getting preparations made for that.
Is that at
So
the church?
It's at the First Baptist Church, as has been it for many years. Yes. So I don't know if there are any questions about that. We're just hoping to get the word out again. The numbers for COVID have been decreasing, and we're happy about that for lots of reasons. But one special reason for us is that we can again provide hot food.
Good.
Then one last thing, our adult day program at the center has reopened as of Monday. We have all our flooring in and painting. We're waiting for the kitchen to be reinstalled, but we do have that open, and our transportation will hopefully start in the next week or 2 weeks. So if you know anybody who could use that, anybody who's physically or cognitively frail and could use our program, please just give us a call. Thank you.
Kathleen, those checks, usually it's two different checks. One, the city check is just for City Hall, and the senior center check is a separate check.
Okay, I'm gonna check with David. He was getting back to me, so I'll see if that's it or not.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, Jimmy, if you want to finish up.
So sorry about that, guys. Such is life. I know you guys don't mind. All right, let's see. Let me go back to the screen just really quick. I'll wrap that up, and then I'll show you the other thing I was talking about. Okay, so we have been paying now for a Zoom account, which we are doing through PayPal. We don't have a credit card, so we use our PayPal to pay for things. And we also have Wild Apricot, which is our new service that we're going to be using for our website and for our emails and everything. That doesn't hit until next month. And so our total right now for our checking account is up to $7,760, which is the gain. So that's just basically our membership dues, so we can do some wonderful things with it. Which I think we're going to be talking about too, right, Spiro? A little bit.
I need to speak to Phyllis a little bit more because she never got back in contact with me. If they do want to
Go ahead.
take care of the fundraiser event thing.
Okay, so just to show you guys, is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, show you guys a little bit about what I've been working on. So this was our website, which, is a stagnant kind of website. I tried to add some membership news and everything like that on there, but it really doesn't get that many views. So we recently just went over to a new site, which that's the back end. So it would allow us to have a little bit more updates, and that's the final kind of the look of the site right now. It hasn't launched officially yet. I'm going to be working on it just to kind of update a little bit more of it, and then it'll be launched shortly. But our website's going to have like a directory where it's a little bit more user friendly, where people could find all the information of all of our members. So if you have specific information that you wanted listed here, please let me know. The way to do that is through Glen Cove IAC at gmail.com right now. We'll be switching that email over shortly, but right now that's a good email to use. I'm going to be adding logos up here, which I'm just basically Googling and finding your logos. But if you have a specific logo that you want to send me, feel free to send it to me. Upgraded information at all. Like, we want to basically keep everything up to date. So let us know what you would like to have on this list, and we'll add it to it. If you click into it, and it gives an option for even more details. So if you want your address here, I might be adding addresses because that kind of makes sense, I think, for some agencies as well. We can do that as well as your photo, which we did for the executive board. So we're still working on that as well. So we have our photos. And then as I hear you guys talking about all this lovely news, I started adding our membership news area, right? So anything that you guys talked about today, I was trying to add as we were going along. And I also added onto our Facebook page that we have. This ideally I'll be putting into an email today, so then it'll go out and so everybody could see this live today. Even though the website's not officially up, we can still link to it and you can get to it, because it's called something a little different, so it's not very easy to get to, but I can link it to the emails. This is our IAC food pantry calendar, which we started a little while, I think a year ago or so, listing all the food pantries in the neighborhood. Colleen is the one that updates this. So if you have any update information, you could always email it to her or email it to us, and we can get that updated. So if you're as a member agency want to share this information with some of your members, it would be great to get that out. So that's kind of like a quick overview of our website. If you want to make a payment to become a member or renew, you could always do that. I'm adding that as well. And any suggestions that anyone might have, it would be great to include that. So I'm open for new discussion for anything you guys need. So we just, as I said, we keep on adding things as we go on. So, anything that you guys have, I try to add it. So if you don't like us on Facebook right now, please add us on your Facebook page. We also have a YouTube page, which only has 3 subscribers. We need 100 subscribers to get an actual name. So right now it's this gobbledygook, which I doubt we're going to get 100 subscribers. So right now, all you have to do to get there, if you missed a past meeting, is just go to our page and click our YouTube link. To be able to get there, or if this is the current one. So if you go to our meetings, you'll see, and then YouTube page to see our past meetings if you want to see that. So that's our current page. So we'll be switching over shortly. Like I said, if you guys have any suggestions, let me know. And oh, great. Thank you, Christine. And then the other thing was, like Spiro said, I'm looking into the app. So we have like a member app as well. So that's a part of the new subscription that we just are paying for. So we'll be rolling something out with that. Again, it's just tools to be able to help each other. There's ways to kind of do forums. So if there's like pertinent information that needs to get out, you could put it on yourself, kind of thing. Again, right now, the best way to get information out is maybe just email Glen Cove IAC at gmail.com, and then we can get that out for you. So anything you guys talked about today that I could do, Travis, I tried to download your photo, but it's not working for me. So if you just want to email us, and then we can get that out as well.
He had to go.
Yeah, he's not here. All right, so that's it for me, I think. Any questions or thoughts? Or... No?
Beautiful.
All right.
Thanks.
All right. We will see everyone next month. I'm guessing Zoom again, and we'll take it from there, see where we're at. Thank you, everybody. Have a great month. Stay safe, stay warm, enjoy the sun today and tomorrow, and hopefully that's it with the snow.
Thank you.
See you guys later.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye, everyone. Spiro and Carolyn, are you staying on?
Yeah.
I have to go for a meeting.